As a kid, did you guys ever grow up feeling like you were the odd one out, even around your own people? Well, I did. I was that awkward black boy.
Hood archetype, which is what he's going to put forth here, that is the only way to feel like you are comfortable in your blackness and among.
If, like I say, if you are like him, we are here to help. What's good, peeps? It's your boy JP back at it again with another reaction video, and today we are reacting to Young Don Reacts. So today's video is I'm a whitewashed black incel that can't fit in. I don't relate to the incel part. I ain't whitewashed either, but people have thought that I didn't always fit the black stereotype. I started fitting in more as I gotten older, but I don't know if that was just a thing of circumstance or that was a thing I forced. But I'm definitely, hey, listen, I'm a big Spider-Man fan. If you don't know, big Spider-Man fan. You know what I mean? Like, I got Spider-Man tattoo if you don't see it. You know what I mean? I even got this $500. This is a $500 Spider-Man mask. Like, I'm really a big Spider-Man fan. I don't care, because this is who I am, and I'm gonna be that. So we're gonna talk about that in this video. If you're a black man or black woman and you feel like you're getting ostracized by your community, this is a video for you. We're gonna help you out. Shout out to Young Don, and shout out to the guy that actually made this video. Let's get into it. Oh, but before we get into it, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Join the Prosper Gang. We keeping it PG. There is a whole lot of prosperity going on around this mug. You feel me? Without further ado, let's get into the video.
I have been exiled by my own race. Video by Sloth. Let's check this out. He's essentially coming to us from the perspective of a self-professed, whitewashed black incel. Now, that's not a reality that I can really relate to experiencing, but I do believe there are some aspects of it that I do relate to. And that's because there was a period of my life where I didn't feel as if I seamlessly integrated into Black American culture as a result of moving from Jamaica at the age of 15. There was some degree of, I felt like a little bit of an outsider. I've always had Black American friends. My closest friends have always been Black. I mean, I've also had very close white friends and Hispanic friends. I had a very
weird story. I actually started gaining Black friends in high school. Prior to high school, most of my friends, outside of the friends that grew up in the neighborhood, because I grew up in apartments, so I grew up in a low income area. So a lot of the people were Hispanic and Black, right? So I didn't have a lot of Black and Hispanic friends, but like, you know, we was like into like the WWE, so we like reenacted that as kids. But in school though, because I was older than the friends I had in my apartment complex, I was older than them. So it was times where I go to a school by myself without those friends because I was older. So in that school, I had a lot of Hispanic friends. I was in band. I played the trombone, and stuff like that. So I didn't have a lot of Black friends till I got into high school. In fact, I ain't even like Black girls crazy. I ain't even like Black girls until like 9th grade. I think is when I started liking actually finding Black women more attractive. I don't know what the switch was. Oh, I know what the switch was. I started playing football. I played football for the first time in 9th grade, and then I started gaining more Black friends. And from there, that's where the switch happened.
Diverse friend group in high school, but Black Americans and other Black immigrants have always been a part of the mix. So I've never really felt like completely on the outside, but there is an aspect to it that I did feel like an outsider. But now I don't feel like an outsider.
And just for context, I'm oldish now. Like when I say in high school, 9th grade, that 9th grade, I was like 08. I graduated high school in 2012. I'm 31. So I've been in my bucket for a long time now. And so just to get the context, it's not like I said 9th grade like that was yesterday or last year. No, that was 08, 09. It's 2025 now. That was a long time ago. You know what I mean? So yeah, let's continue.
at all. I feel very much at home within the Black American space while still feeling very much at home within amongst Jamaicans, and I think I would feel very much at home around Africans as well. Yeah. And that's because the solution to the disconnect that I feel that a lot of Black young men, such as this guy, it may feel with other Black people, really is more of an internal thing than it having anything to do with the people that make up these Black groups, whether you're talking Black Americans.
And side note, shout out to Young Don. I want these Blacks, man. I cannot wait till I grow to a point. I don't know how long it's gonna take me, but I cannot wait till I grow to a point where I can put one of these plaques on like this wall right here or here or something, and I can always have it in the background. I want one of those plaques. That is so dope. Y'all hit the like and subscribe button to help me get there. Just a side note.
Black Caribbean people, Black Africans. I truly believe any person truly at peace with their identity of being a Black person can effortlessly be comfortable around any kind or any group of Black people, regardless of their cultural heritage. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into this.
Okay, right now, I want to talk a little bit about what it's like to be a reject within your own race.
Damn.
You see, in my opinion, I feel like if you are a Black man who is non-stereotypical, your life is going to feel like a curse.
Wow.
It is easier to exist in this world as a Black guy who fits into the stereotype. And I believe that's the case
because everything is projection, my brother. Everything is projection. It might make it easier to be around other Blacks when you fit in the Black stereotype. But do you think the greater society respects Black people that sit in that Black stereotype? Why do you think a lot of people try to avoid it? Boom. I need one of those. That's subjective. Cause and this is coming from somebody that's like in the middle. Like I have a coworker, a white guy that's a coworker that built my computer. Cause you know we created some type of relationship where he rocked with me, an older white guy. He built my computer. Most Black people would probably be like, "What? That's crazy," you know what I mean? But like I'm in the middle, you know what I mean? But listen, brother, that ain't what you think. I've been stereotyped. I got dreads. I got tattoos. You know how many people think I smoke weed? I do not smoke weed. I tried it once. It wasn't for me and never picked it back up again. I don't smoke weed. I could be around a bunch of people that smoke weed and I will not pick up the blunt. It's not what you think it is, brother. It's not what you think.
Within the Black community, if you do not adhere to the prescriptive ideas of what it means to be a Black person, you're going to be tortured everywhere you go. Because
now
I think he's exaggerating it a little bit. But granted, I don't know how old he is. So, because as you get older and you get in the real world, you're not getting tortured for that.
I think that is a gross oversimplification. Just take a look at 10 of the biggest Black YouTubers that you can think of, or just 10 prominent Black YouTubers that you can think of around the same age range. And you will notice, more than likely, they're all very different, right? I'm not the same as a Kai Cenat, not the same as an RDC World, not the same as a Duke Dennis, Flatboy Max, a Corey
I Show Speed,
a Daquan Wiltshire, a Caleb City. I think all of these personalities are very different.
And we live in an era where all that is way more acceptable now. Like way more. Because now, like, streaming now, where that used to just be a nerdy thing, like, now it's mainstream now. Shout out to Cosnat. But, like, bro, like, it's way more acceptable now. I'm not trying to dog you, bro. Like, if you are like him, we are here to help. We're here to give you another perspective. We're not here to shame you or make you feel ostracized whatsoever. So we're here to help you. I guarantee you. But hear us out and hear our point of view, and maybe you won't look at it as so bad as what you think it may be. If you relate to this guy that's talking in the video, not Young Don, but the guy that's making the video.
And more than likely we would not have all hung out with each other in high school. You feel me? Yet I think all of those people that I just mentioned are authentically black and comfortable in their blackness. So this idea that unless you're trying to be the hood archetype, which is what he's going to put forth here, that is the only way to feel like you are comfortable in your blackness and amongst black people. I believe that just does not reflect reality.
Everywhere you go, black people are going to view you and see you as an outsider. You're going to be labeled as whitewashed or an Uncle T, if you catch my drift, or they're going to call you a raccoon. I
mean, you definitely are going to get that. I don't know that if that's what torture means to you, then okay, you definitely gonna get that from time to time. So,
due to the fact that you do not conform to their idea of what it means to be black.
Now, that's not true. Whitewashed, maybe you could reasonably make that argument to an extent, but to be a raccoon, to be an Uncle Tom, those labels are reserved for black people who are anti-black. You could be
right, facts. Like, people ain't gonna just throw you on. They'll call you Oreo. My girl get called an Oreo sometimes. I don't think I've ever been called an Oreo, but you get called an Oreo.
The most whitewashed black dude in America, that is not going to make you a raccoon or an Uncle Tom.
I never understood that. How is a black person supposed to act? How is a black...
I mean, that just kind of come with the territory. Like, I had a girl at my job one time ask if my girlfriend was black. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, oh, I didn't think you would date black girls. And granted, because I don't got the hood archetype. Like, I always say, I'm an N-word. I'm just not a street N-word. You know what I mean? But I don't have the hood dude archetype. So I guess maybe that's why she felt that way. But that doesn't say nothing about me that much. It says more about her. And the people that were asking me that represent, she's like the street girl archetype. So that's why she would ask me that, because in her mind, she's used to street dudes. So anything that's outside of that, to her, don't date black women. But that has nothing to do with me. That has everything to do with you, because other black women wouldn't think that. And black women find me attractive, so I just date black women.
Supposed to be talk.
She probably did too. Side note.
The black guy is supposed to listen to. Like, growing up, I always felt opposite to what they told me black was. So in my mind, I never felt attached to my race, or I never felt attached enough to my race to make my entire personality and identity my skin color. So for the longest time, I've always viewed myself as a brain occupying a meat sack, or inhabiting a meat sack or a vessel, pretty much.
So you see, he doesn't identify with being a black person.
You do need to identify it, because if you wear it if you treat it like something you're not proud of, people can sense that. And then that's when they start kind of bullying you, because they're proud of it and they feel like you're not proud of it. So they're going to bully you into feeling proud of it, or bully you because you're not proud of it. And people can sense that. You can be a nerd and be proud to be black, and like, people can't do nothing about that. They might joke at you like being a little Oreo or something, or talking white or something. But at the end of the day, that says more about them than it does about you. If they feel dumb for not being, if they feel being not smart is a black archetype, that's their problem. It has nothing to do with you. But be proud of your skin though, because you are that. It ain't no denying that.
Doesn't see himself as a black person. He sees himself as a consciousness that has been cursed to dwell within a black body.
Cursed. Because he's treating it like that, and people can feel that, and they will bully you for that. Because nobody likes somebody that is not comfortable with their own skin that I'm proud to be in my own skin about.
And that has caused me a lot of alienation, because I would go over family members' houses and they will all just be dancing at a barbecue, or listening to, hip hop songs or R&B songs.
Dope.
And I always felt secluded, because
why?
I was never into that. I don't hate that culture, but when it came to like black culture or like hood culture or street culture,
bro, there is no such thing as not being into Whitney Houston. There's no such thing as not being into Michael Jackson. There is no such thing as not thinking Jimi Hendrix shreds. I'm not saying that you got to become super fans of this kind of shit, But you can't listen to that shit. I don't think it's possible for you to listen to that shit.
You're not trying to relate. And granted, I don't know, for those who's watching, sometimes you're not in the environment to relate. So let's say he goes to cookouts and stuff, so there's no excuse for him. But for you, let's say you're a black man, you grew up in a suburban neighborhood and you can't even relate to the hood archetype, or you can't relate to none of the music that the black people are making because you didn't grow up like that. I could understand that, right? You can still be proud to be black, though. Black is not a monolith. Black comes in all different shapes, sizes, brains, IQ levels, creativity. It comes in all different types. Just wear your blackness in your form. Don't let nobody shame you out of that. You don't have to fit the mainstream black archetype to be proud of who you are. If you a black guy that like anime, be a black guy that like anime. If you a black guy that loves Spider-Man, as I do myself, I fucking love Spider-Man, dude. And Spider-Man is a white-based character. I don't give a man. I used to get bullied, and Spider-Man made me feel like I wasn't alone in that. And I'm here to tell you, you're not alone in being black, bro. You're not. You are who you are. I'm proud to be black, and I love Spider-Man. I don't give a fuck. And you should be proud of who you are, despite what area you grew up like.
And be like, you know what I mean? Again, I'm not saying you had to be like, oh yeah, I want to listen to this shit in my own free time at home. But he's almost sounding as if he was repulsed by that stuff, which I think has more to do with his disconnect with being black than it has to do with this stuff just being that bad.
I never felt attacked.
I love Michael Jackson. I love all the black archetype. Man, I listen to hood music. One of my favorite artists right now is J. Cole, Larry June, and many more. AJ McQueen, the whole shebang.
To it, I was always into alternative things. The music I listened to was alternative. The way I dressed was very alternative. My hobbies and interests were all different from what black people took to.
Right. Well, you know, another thing too, I'm sorry, I'm going to continue with this video. I do just want to say this. Because he's aware of it is no excuse. You're aware of it. Now I feel like you just don't want to accept it. You just want to find something to complain about. I'm not saying this is y'all watching, but because he's aware of it, I don't think he's trying to make the adjustment. Just all you have to do is just be a little bit more, have a little bit more empathy and try to be a little bit more relatable. You don't mean you got to be somebody you're not. Just try to be a little bit more understanding, have a little bit more empathy, and find some things you can relate on. You just, he sound like he just don't want to.
Right.
So,
and he want to make them an enemy.
Tells us that that's how he was programmed from a very young age. From a very young age, he was already being put down that path of being more into white culture than black culture.
You can imagine all that did was just label me in their minds as a traitor, you know, and that's so unfortunate, man, because, you know, black people love to talk about how other races treat them badly and how everyone hates black people. We're so tortured by the world and we're victims, and they always fail to acknowledge how black people destroy other black people. And it's like when you do bring that up, they either brush past it quickly or they just invalidate your experience. Because in most black people's minds, racism or hatred or discrimination only matters when it's coming from a white person.
No, that's not true at all. That's not true at all. But you can't call it racism just because people think you're weird. That's not being racist. They don't think you're weird because you're black, because they have black friends, obviously.
Right. But black people have been indoctrinated to think. They think that black on black hatred or black on black bullying or black on black violence doesn't matter that much. You know, it's like, that's why I don't talk to anyone IRL about this. Because
you know, I've always hated bullying. It doesn't matter who is getting bullied. I've never been a fan of bullies, man. So trust me, I'm one black person who's against you being bullied for not fitting in.
It's going to be an endless argument.
And I know there are plenty of others.
And I'm tired of arguing. This video was not to preach self-hate. I'm not making this so you can, be on my side. I'm just trying to share my experience because I'm tired of black people being hypocrites. It's just, I don't know, it's backwards to me. It's so backwards. But yeah, man,
I wouldn't say hypocrites. I think you're looking at it from a surface level, so you're seeing it as being hypocritical when it's actually deeper than that. We do have this, and I'm not trying to bring slavery up, but back when it used to be house Negroes and field Negroes, people do feel those ways sometimes. Like, it just evolved. And you don't deserve to get bullied from it. But I feel the issue isn't so much I think the issue is more, especially nowadays, is more how confident you are in who you are. Cause people gonna bully you whether you're insecure, whether you like. When I used to get bullied, I still kind of fit the black stereotype, and my bullies wasn't even black. Like, I wasn't getting bullied by black people. I was getting bullied by I had one bully that was an Asian dude, another bully that was I think he was Hispanic. I don't know he was like a mid Eastern guy or something. I didn't even have black bullies. Like, it's more to do with your insecurities and how insecure you are and how shy you are than it has to do with you not fitting the black stereotype. If you wear who you are comfortably, people just gonna have to find a way to accept it. And like I say, and show some way of empathy and understanding. And I think people will be a little bit more understanding. Obviously, you're not just don't force yourself to fit in with them. Just be a little bit more understanding is all. And wear who you are comfortably. Like, wear it with bravery. People will not care. I promise you. There's a psychological thing behind walking in your own skin comfortably despite what your background looks like.
As a black outsider was just very brutal. Growing up, going to inner city schools, black kids would pick on me every single day. The black boys would physically assault me and call me names and just bully me every day. And It got to a point to where I had to defend myself so much that I was always getting sent to the principal's office because I was always getting into fights, and it was just so unfair that I had to go through that.
I wonder where he grew up at. Like, where is this happening? Like, what region of the country is this happening? Because down south, ain't nobody at least when I was in school, wasn't bullying people for not fitting the black stereotype. I mean, you might get called an Oreo or whitewash, which, I mean, if that's bullying to you, I can understand that. But you getting in fights, I don't know.
Treatment. And when it came to
but I'm not telling him he's wrong. That's his experience. I can understand.
Girls, they were very open and vocal about how they felt about me.
Really?
And it was always negative. They always told me how ugly I was. They always told me that I was a lame. They told...
Now, you definitely gonna get that from women. I ain't gonna lie to you. Women are definitely gonna make you feel like you're lame for not fitting that black stereotype. And they would definitely find you as a traitor if you date anybody outside of being black. That I cannot argue with on that one.
I was a loser because I didn't wear Jordans. I didn't wear Nikes. I didn't care about Chief Keef or whatever rapper was popular during that time. You know what I mean? Like, it's so brutal because I was just trying to exist as a normal kid. And I was always lumped into, just some social war or like some identity war. And I didn't care about that stuff. Like, even growing up, I never cared about looking nice. I never cared about dressing like a hood kid. Like, all of the hood kids wore the same exact, they all dressed the same. Every hood kid wore Jordans, some type of polo t-shirt or Aeropostale or Hollister, or they wore True Religion jeans because, I went to school I was in middle school in the mid 2010s or like early 2010s.
Early
so like
2010s,
that was the style back in the day, you know.
So I was in high school when he was in middle school.
Hollister.
Oh, early 2010s. Yeah, I was graduating high school when he was in middle school, I think. Like early 20, like I said, I graduated 2012, so yeah.
Apostle, all of those like name brand clothing, you know, companies or whatever.
Okay.
And even till this day, I am a very
So he's probably in his early 20s.
A minimalistic person. I have one pair of shoes. They're Converses. I don't care about anything. Like, I thrift my clothes.
He doesn't care about looking good. That's a you problem. Not to be mean, but in the sense of like, it's not a black thing to look good. Everybody, all races, you're going to have people who care about the way that they look, and then you have people who don't.
Right. Because I'm one of the ones, I be stepping. I'm fly as hell. I ain't going to tell you no lie. I am fly. When I want to be, I'm chilling now. You know what I mean? But I'm really like that. Hey, look at some of my videos on this mother. You be like, hey, bro, you just on YouTube and you doing some things. Imagine when I step out and I go out and I'm outside. I'm really like that. Look. When me and Dior finally like connect or something, Dior one of them ones too. He be stepping. I be seeing it on his Instagram. Well, when I did follow his Instagram, he don't post. But you get what I'm saying, though. Shout out to Dior.
You know, okay, all right.
I don't care about wearing designer clothing, but
the point I'm making is there are plenty of black people who don't really care about fashion that much, who are very comfortable with their blackness and around other black people and fitting just fine with black people. They're just the dude in the friend group who has the least drip. Every friend group got a friend who got the least drip. You know what I'm saying?
Not to drag it out, but yeah, that's what all the kids would tease me about because I was just so different, and it just made my high school experience and my middle school experience a living nightmare. But it's funny because when I attended a predominantly white school or a predominantly Hispanic school, I never faced bullying.
Of course.
I never had to fight a white person. I never fought a Hispanic person. The most I could say was that I was still invisible.
Now notice this. He's been to 3 different schools.
You probably didn't. They probably still talk behind your back when you wasn't looking. Boom. Black people probably said it to your face. The other ethnicities definitely had something to say about you when you wasn't looking. They would probably, when you made good grades, they probably was shocked. Such and such got an A. How he do better than me? They're not gonna tell you that. That's how they feel. And what happens is this is what you're gonna realize when you get older. If you didn't already realize it, some people never realize it. The subtle disrespect that never spoke to you, to me, is worse. You faking in my face and smiling in my face, and you low key think I'm beneath you. Our whole friendship. Miss me with that. I would rather you tell me how you feel so I know to stay away from you than for you to low-key think I'm dumb or I'm not capable, but you smiling in my face every day. We're not doing that.
Fools, apparently.
And that is one of the things that made me shift to really wanting to have a lot of black friends. Because being black no longer became a factor. Now it's just about personality.
Between middle school and high school. He's been to all black.
This is all about perspective. I'm not saying all of this is perspective and how you live life.
School, or a predominantly black school, a predominantly white school, and a predominantly Hispanic school, according to him. Which tells us what? That he has moved around a lot. Which tells us what? That his father is probably in the military.
Well, I was still a loser, but at least
And the military and the police force is very effective at whitewashing black people. Doesn't do it to all of them, obviously, but many of them do become your Brandon Tatums, your Officer Tatums, and things of that nature.
I was not getting picked on every single day. You know what I mean? But it's slightly different when it came to the Hispanic school, because when I went to a predominantly Hispanic school, I was more accepted. And it's weird like that.
Interesting.
Like growing up for me, I always had a love for Mexican people or just Hispanic people in general, because from a young age, I was exposed to Mexican culture because my dad was dating a Mexican girl for a couple of years.
Okay, another piece of evidence there. His dad was dating a Mexican woman. Okay.
And she would bring us around her family, and her family would...
Now, that also, it's not a condemnation or a death sentence. I'm not saying that you can't be a black man and date outside of your race, but it can oftentimes be reflective of somebody who is not into black chicks. And when you're a black guy and you're not into black chicks,
and your dad didn't,
that's something interesting to note right there.
Embrace me, and they used to show me how they, cooked, and they showed me how their culture was from a very young age. I was exposed to Mexican culture, and growing up, I always had a love for Mexican people because of that, because they always showed me love and they always respected me, and it was different, I felt more connected to them than I did to black people, Okay. And it's funny too, because even Mexican girls.
Now, I imagine, but how is that different than you experiencing that with your black family? Like in the beginning of this story, talking about the cookouts and the dancing, and they're playing R&B and hip hop. How was that any different than when you experienced it from this Mexican girlfriend that your dad was dating? That tells me it's a possibility it has more to do with your relationship with black culture, and thus how you then interpret what's going on when your family is hanging out versus your relationship with anything non-black, any culture that's non-black.
A lot of this is internal. Like, because the way you see yourself internally projects externally, which the way you see yourself internally projects externally. Other people see it, they interpret it, and then they project or they react to the way you are projecting yourself. First, fix what you can't control. And that means, and that's everything in life, always work on what you can control. Control how you view black people. The way he's talking about it, I know he's opening up, so I ain't gonna get on him like that, but his view on black culture, he doesn't like it. And the way he doesn't like it, he's internally disgusted by it, which projects itself externally, and people can see that, and then they don't like you either. Fix the way you feel about black culture. Just because you don't identify with it don't mean you can't find some understanding or likeness to it. Fix that first. Then some of the other things may change. If it don't change, remove yourself from that situation and find people that are okay with it. You have to stop internalizing it in a bad light, and it'll fix itself externally. Do that first. Second, any type of relationship, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a romantic relationship, or whether it's a race relationship, all of it takes work. That means you have to do your part. Make the effort to make black friends. Make the effort to want to understand. Start listening to some Chief Keef and see, man, what is about it that they like so much that maybe I can find something about it that I like. There is a space for black nerds in the music industry. Like I say, I'm a videographer. I'm a music video director. I love black music. I'm not a rapper though. I don't rap. But I shoot and direct music videos. In some people's eyes, that's a little nerdy-ish. And that's cool, but I found a way where I can integrate myself into the black culture and still make it make sense. Find your way. Maybe you can be a music producer. Maybe you can produce some music. Maybe you can do graphic design. Maybe you can design the next black culture streetwear. There's a space for all of us. You just gotta want it. You gotta do it, put in the work. That's all. I'm not neglecting it. I'm not saying it ain't your experience ain't real, because it probably is. But what I'm saying is how you respond to that might fix majority of that. And whatever it don't fix, you remove yourself from it and find people that are okay with it. But shout out to Young Don. If y'all want to finish the rest of this video, I will definitely put it here. I will definitely show it to you. I am whitewashed. I'm a whitewashed black incel that can't fit in. Young Don reacts. Shout out to Young Don. But with that being said, I got some editing I gotta do, so I'll holler at y'all. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Join the Prosper Gang. We're keeping it PG. There's a whole lot of prosperity going on around this mug. You feel me? Remember, there is nothing impossible to they who tries. Till next time I'm out. Deuce.